Hi everybody, it's Ben from PMaps for Texas. Before I show you how to create a story map from the data we mapped using ArcGIS Online, I want to show you how to join data layers together in ArcGIS Online as well as export that data as an Excel file. So here we are on my organization's ArcGIS Online homepage. I'm going to go to Content and find the map that I previously made. So here's the content panel of my ArcGIS page. I'll go to the optical brightener test map that I created earlier. And I have several different options. I'm going to choose Open in Map Viewer Classic. So soon you'll be able to see the map. I have 20 different samples distributed throughout 4 different watersheds in the Louisville area testing for optical brighteners in water. So the first thing I want to do is join these two data layers together. So within the optical brightener level result table, I can see all of the data associated with each of these surveys submitted for the optical brightener sampling survey. However, there is no watershed data associated with these points. Essentially, these two data layers are still separate. So while we can see which data points lay within which watershed, there's no actual information about that on a layer. So if we go to export our optical brightener data to an Excel file, it won't have any information associated with the watersheds. We want to change that because we want to be able to use the watershed information in some analysis later on in Excel. So let's learn how to do that. You'll notice that I'm in the ArcGIS Map Viewer Classic and not the new Map Viewer. This is because the analysis feature is not available in ArcGIS, the new Map Viewer. So we have to do this in the old Map Viewer, but we don't really have to manipulate any of the layers, so we don't have to get too far into those menus. So we will go to Analysis on the upper bar and go to the first tab, Summarize Data. You can click on this blue icon to see what each of these analyses do, but we want join features. First, we want to choose a target layer. This is the layer to which we are going to add other information. So the base layer that holds most of the information we want. This is going to be our optical brightener level data. So all of the data from the optical brightener survey will be included, and we'll include something else from the other data set. So to choose a layer to join to the target layer, this is the data layer that we will add on to the base optical brightener data level. So let's click this and we will choose one of these watersheds. The most specific that this map goes is the 12-digit subwatershed. So we will divide these by subwatershed. For the type of join, I'll click spatial relationship. And intersects works fine. Completely within is fine as well. Or within a distance of if you have a set distance that you'd like to test. We will click intersects. So this will choose the watershed which the point is in the most if it's on the border. We could also choose completely within and it would give us the same result essentially. For the join operation, we can just leave this default value alone. And for the result layer name, we can change this to a layer name we can find later on. So we'll change this to optical brightener, sample results, and watershed. Then we'll click Run Analysis and wait for this to run. After a few minutes, our analysis is complete, and you can see that a layer has been added, optical brightener, sample results, and watershed. You can also see that all of our previously multicolored points are now one uniform color. So we need to change the symbology a little bit. But if we go ahead and look at the attribute table by clicking this Show Table button for our new layer, we can see that not only do we have all of our optical brightener survey data, but if you scroll all the way back here under HUC12, you can also see the different watersheds as well. Each of these four 12-digit numbers is one of the four unique watersheds that we have our points in. So now we have that watershed information associated with our data layer. That means we can actually delete the optical brightener water level data layer from our map, so it's not redundant information. So we'll click this ... menu and go to remove. And let's clean up the symbology of this data layer we created just recently so we can display the different colors for our different results. Okay, so now our map shows all of our samples, the results of those samples, and the type of water body that was sampled, as well as the border of the watershed in which they are residing in.